Hello, this is Thekla Petridou. I'm a psychologist and an author. Today it's Friday, the 2nd of August 2019, and this is a vlog, a video post in English with the general question, how do you know you are better? I'm reading an email right here from a gentleman who wrote this to me last week. Dear Thekla, I have a general question which you may wish to address and which may be of interest to your viewers. It's the question of how you know when a psychotherapy has worked. That may seem like a silly question, but let me explain why I ask, and I'm guessing that lots of people wonder the same thing. I am currently undergoing psychotherapy. Good for you. Following a breakup, which was the result of a form of infidelity on my part. This is a gentleman writing the email who is around the age of 50. I know more info about him because he wrote a more detailed second email, which he doesn't want to reveal to everybody online. It has been a desperately sad time, both for me and for my former girlfriend. It has been heartbreak in almost a literal sense. In the 3 or 4 weeks since we split up, I have opened parts of my heart and mind which had been unexposed for many years. Much of this is the result of the trauma and some of the things my girlfriend said to me the night we broke up, and the couple of times we've spoken since, and the result too of me seeking help. My concern is that I will go too fast and not get to the bottom of things, and that is the reason for my question. And there are 2 reasons why I have that concern. First, 3 years ago, after another breakup, I had a few sessions with a psychotherapist. I was working on questions of emotional dependency. I find it so difficult to let people and things live my life. I took years to separate fully from my first wife, and I still occasionally get in contact with old flames or flirts from 10 years ago, or I did. And so I worked on that with a therapist. I wasn't entirely convinced by her technique, but persisted for about 6 or 7 sessions. And then I met someone wonderful who made me happy, and I stopped the psychotherapy. I felt good. Why continue? At this point, I want to emphasize on something. Since I've been a client of psychotherapists many times, because as you might know or not know, psychologists and psychotherapists should undergo counseling at all times so as to reassure their psychological balance. It happened to me in the past, in my early 20 years, that when I really needed psychotherapy for personal growth as well, not only for helping with my job, with my practice, that every time I fell in love, I would neglect psychotherapy. I would feel better, I would feel enthusiastic, I would feel happy, because falling in love makes some hormones crazy in your brain and in your body. You feel euphoria, and then you think that all your problems are solved and all you need is love. But my friend, I realize that you realize from your writing and our conversations through email that you have come to the realization that love is not happiness. That falling in love and being in a relationship is not the destination of happiness. So, abandoning psychotherapy while falling in love is something very common in the clients of psychotherapy. There is a word in Greek for this, psychotherapevomenos, which means somebody who undergoes psychotherapy, and many people make this mistake to stop psychotherapy when they fall in love. That's the first reason you worry, because in the past you stopped psychotherapy early. Even though you weren't sure about the technique your old psychotherapist used. At this point, I want to emphasize my opinion, I wish to emphasize my opinion, that not every psychotherapy is suitable for everybody. Not every psychotherapist is compatible with every client. We should seek to find a therapist that suits us, suits our personality, suits our education, suits our set of ideas, of the way of thinking, because every person is different, everybody has their differences, and we should seek for a psychotherapist who is more close to our persona than distant from it. And this is not the time to talk about several psychotherapeutic techniques or methods or even schools of psychotherapy, but my opinion is that it's better that we stick and attach with a therapist that we feel is suitable for us, not somebody who makes us feel well about ourselves all the time, not somebody who flatters us, not somebody who is comforting for us only, but somebody who really tries with us for a better outcome. Because psychotherapy is very demanding. It's like operation. It's like if somebody somebody broke his leg a decade ago, and they didn't go to an orthopedic surgeon, they didn't have any surgery, or they didn't have a proper therapy for the broken leg. And then after 10 years, they go to another doctor, and then they have to break the leg again, so as to put it right this time, and psychotherapy hurts. Second, after this recent breakup, I realized that you broke up from your girlfriend about a month ago. I began working with another therapist, and things have gone very fast. I have been able to clear out all my past contacts, just deleted everything, and it felt good, and I don't miss them. No temptation to go back. Is that the effectiveness of the previous therapy or the result of the current trauma? I don't know. I had a real issue with pornography since my breakup. I've practically not touched it. I needed some space for myself. I've joined a gym. I go pretty much every day. I had and still have masculinity issues, body issues, but in the gym I look in the mirror and I like what I see. I spend all day digging through my mind, and I find answers and new questions and new answers. In short, I feel that I'm sprinting. I feel endless sadness for the hurt I have caused, but I feel that I'm on a good path and that I'm running along it. This is in phase with my temperament. I'm a bit impulsive and I like things to go fast. I think we have a similar temperament, because also I wouldn't say I'm impulsive at this point in my life, being 44 years old. I used to be very impulsive, but I really like things to go fast. And this is sometimes something that creates difficulties in our spiritual and emotional and psychological progress, because we need to be patient at times. And my concern is that I will feel too good too soon, and that I might stop before I am really better. And since that is the objective, to become really better, and the only way of providing happiness again to the person I have hurt, it's the most important question in my life right now. So, in short, how do I know? How does anyone know when they are better? Thanks, Thekla, for the time you take, if only to read this. Wish you the best. Thank you for your wishes. Well. From my clinical experience, I have worked for 20 years as a private psychologist and psychotherapist. You need much more than 1 month or 6 sessions or 12 sessions to know that you are really better. At least we need 3 months of psychotherapy sessions. Let's say 3 months going to psychotherapy once a week, before we notice any change that will remain in the future. when we're traumatized, when we have a lot of emotional imbalance like you had, or emotional trauma with your recent breakup, and since you are impulsive as well, you might wish to do everything in one day, everything in 1 month, everything in one night, but it can't be done so quickly. Usually, when somebody breaks up from a habit that lasted for 10 years, he or she needs 10 months of therapy to quit, to be sure. Not that he will not start again, because once an addict, always an addict. For example, I used to drink alcohol for 5 or 6 years in my life. I used to be a functional alcoholic in the past. Now I don't drink alcohol at all, but I know at any moment that if I start drinking again, I might as well become an alcoholic again. Functional alcoholic, but an alcoholic. In my situation, I consumed about 3 or 4 glasses of wine every night for 5 or 6 years after my cousin died on a car accident, and I had trauma from that, and I didn't treat it medically because I needed antidepressants at the time, and I was younger and I was very stubborn, and I didn't accept that me, a therapist, I would need medication. So instead I self-medicated myself. I used wine in order to feel better. So I became addicted to wine for 5 or 6 years. And even though I was functional, I went to my job every morning, I was functional with my kids, and I drank the wine by myself after my kids went to bed, I still was an addict. And nowadays, I'm still an addict. Anytime I can slip back, I can become an alcoholic again. So what you mentioned, that you haven't touched pornography in 1 month, it's nothing. The thing that you deleted your contacts, again, it's nothing. It's a very good beginning, it's an excellent beginning, but it doesn't mean that you have become in a point, that you have come to a point that psychotherapy has worked on you. On your situation, and taking into consideration everything else you wrote to me that I didn't read on this vlog, I think that you should stick to therapy for at least 6 months. Or even more, 9 months, 1 year. You are a highly educated man, you are very intelligent, you have a lot of issues that you acknowledge, and this is very nice. This is surprisingly good that you acknowledge your issues, but you should give to yourself time in order to make the change within. And it's not only cognitive change, it's also emotional change, and it takes time. It takes time to heal the trauma, not the trauma from your recent breakup, the trauma that you've carried in your soul all your life. What I didn't like in your letter, or let me rephrase it, what made me feel, what considered me in your letter, is that you say you want to make your ex-partner happy. No, this is not a good motivation. In order for psychotherapy to work for us, and in order for us to change, and change permanently, we need to have motivation that is within ourselves only. I change for myself. I don't change for anybody. If I change for my ex, if my ex dumps me and never talks to me again, then I will slip back. If I change for my mother and then my mother acts in a manner that I don't like, then I will slip back. If I change for my kids and then my kids grow up and they go out of the house, then I will slip back to old habits. You should point your motivation, and your cause should be within yourself. You need to address change as something positive for you, something fundamental for you, not for your ex-girlfriend. I wish for you, and I wish for everybody that they wish to get back along with their exes to success this. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be back with your ex when things are right. But if your motivation, and strong motivation, for undergoing therapy is to bring your ex back, this will not help you. You understand what I mean? I'm sure that you understand. So when you next see your therapist, you can show this vlog as well. I hope he or she is not do not feel offended that you ask my opinion as well alongside therapy. If you, as you have seen, I have not addressed any real issues of therapy here because I do not want to intrude into any other colleagues' work, and it's not ethical as well. I think you should address with your therapist this question: what's my motivation here? Am I doing it for myself, or am I doing it for my ex? And if you are doing it for your ex, consider changing your motivation. I wish you the best, and I hope I have answered your general question, which was very particular. You wrote it for yourself, as we all do. We ask general questions that we ask about us. I wish you the best also. Bye.